right, what is up, everyone? Welcome in to the next a prediction special. I'm Michael Mursky. That is Josh
Let's
Burns.
go!
We have
Wow.
our
5 seconds in, I already get yelled at. That's got to be a record. I just got yelled at being too loud with 5 seconds. That is definitely a record.
we have the NFC and AFC predictions for we're gonna go each. We're gonna go division by division, team by team. We're gonna go. We're gonna start with the AFC North. We're gonna go the 4 seed in the North, the 3 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed, their record. Josh, did you do the
I'm almost done. I'll be done by the time we get to it.
did
You
you
know what
do
I'm
it
going to
on
do here?
playoff?
Real quick, guys.
Did you do it on playoff predictors?
Yeah. So you go through everything. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to go. I'm going to move over a little bit.
Yeah,
You go. You intro all this. I'll be right back.
All right. So, while Josh does that, so let's take a look at what we're gonna do today. We will go through our AFC North predictions, then AFC South predictions, East, West. Do that for the NFC. Then what we're going to do is we will reveal numbers 16 through 1 in both conferences to see where they are seated and how they are seated. Then what we're going to do is we are going to go to the wild card week. The wild card week, me and Josh will both give our wild card matchups. We'll give our wild card winners. I think what we should do is just start with the AFC playoff pictures. Then we'll go to the NFC playoff picture. We'll give our wild card divisional, all that. Then, after we give our Super Bowl pick, which we'll get to at the very end of this broadcast, we'll end the broadcast. Then we'll start a new one. And in that new one, you don't like it? Ari, I was deciding
Agreed.
whether
Agreed. I'm going to be right back. I need to go get a table, but
you do that. I'll wait. All right. Yeah. So once again, I was deciding whether or not to wear a dress shirt or a Ravens, like one of my million Ravens shirts. So I decided to compromise. Now, then we're gonna end this broadcast, start another one, and there we're gonna go through our award predictions. We're gonna do the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And obviously when we do our Super Bowl, we're gonna get the Super Bowl MVP. Then we'll have our stat leaders. So we're going to have our throwing yards leader, our throwing touchdowns leader, a rushing yards leader, rushing touchdowns leader, receiving yards leader, receiving touchdowns leader. I will throw in a tight end yards and a tight end touchdowns leader. We will have our sacks leader, and we will have our interception leaders. So that is, let's go. I am super excited. Once Josh comes, we will start with the AFC North, go 4 through 1. I could tell you, for me and Josh, if you watch our show, if you keep up with this, you should know what our MVP picks are by now, especially mine. If you don't know my MVP pick, then you must be new to the show. And if you are new to the show, well, then we welcome you. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead and request us to all your friends. Make sure we all get launched. After this, we'll upload it on YouTube, but YouTube is not letting us live stream anymore. Sportscast.com/thenext, and on Twitch is where you could find us. Josh is here. Let's go.
Woo!
We will start with our first seed.
Okay, so first of all, all I want to say, we're going division by division, and I'm really excited. Well, all right, I can explain. All right, I sprinted in and out multiple times. It was a struggle, but I'm all ready. Here we go. Doors closed now. All right, perfect. By the way, Michael, I will have to agree. A little overdressed tonight, but it's all right.
By the way, I just want to say this, Josh. I am properly lit. Are you in the Federal Witness Protection? I'm kidding. I just thought it was a nice way
Bob
to start.
Costas, I am not.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was a nice way to start with.
But I am in
lighting.
the outside program of outside getting kicked out for being too loud program. I'm a member of that program. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, let's do that. Do you want to do this or this?
That one. I like that one. I'll get rid of the logo. Let's get things going.
All right. Let's go. Let's do this. All right.
Last place. What division we starting
Let's
off with?
go. We're gonna go AFC North. All right,
Right.
let's start with the AFC North, Josh. You're 4 seed in the AFC North.
Well, not 4 seeds, just last place.
The last place in the AFC North, Josh.
Yeah, last place in the AFC North. To no one's surprise that knows what they're talking about. At least is the Cincinnati Bengals, 5-11. I have them going.
What is
I
it? By
have
the way, we should do division record too, because it's just up there.
Yeah, no, I have stats and everything here. So the
Oh, even
Bengals.
two.
I have the Bengals going 3-3 in the division, 5-11 overall. 3-9 in their conference against winning teams. They actually went 3-8. So over half of their wins were actually against teams over 500. Then under 500, it was 2-3. So it's a tough schedule for them. But I have them getting overall more wins against teams that are over 500 than under 500.
What about home and away? Oh well, that doesn't even matter.
Home and away doesn't matter. So I'm not even like trying
All
to bring
right.
up those stats.
My 5 seed at 5-11 is the Cincinnati Bengals with rookie quarterback Joe Burrow. 5-11. Their overall record 1-5 in the division.
And I'm hoping, is that me or
Josh is stuck.
Michael? Wait,
hear you.
Michael.
Yes. What's up?
Hold on. Did you see what just happened there? Because we
you're
both
frozen.
just was it both of us?
Not me. I think it was just you. It's just you. Josh is gonna leave and come back. It is Bethany Beach internet fixed, working out. Anyway, my 4 seed in the AFC North.
There we go. Okay, am I good now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, perfect.
All right,
So the
my
Bengals 5-11 as
4
well.
seed in the AFC North, the Bengals 5-11. So here we go. So it's going to be the 5-11 overall, division record of 1-5, conference record of 3-9. Yes, conference record of 3-9. Home record of 2-6. Away. Oh well, that doesn't matter. Versus winning teams, they're 1-9. Versus losing teams, 4-2. So Joe Burrow for both of us goes.
Okay, well,
5-11 in its first year as a Cincinnati
What
Bengals.
games do you have?
Do I just go through each team's
games
schedule?
have them winning or no?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll do that.
Well, let's talk about for every team, but Nah, I mean, yeah, let's just go records.
I mean, we could if you want to.
No, because we're gonna be here all night if we do it like that.
All right.
So yeah, let's just keep it 5-11.
Josh, you're number 3 seed.
I hate to count number 3. It's not seeds.
Oh my God, the number 3 in the AFC North is.
All right, finishing third. Well, actually, I have 2 teams, with the same record. However, with tiebreakers, and keep in mind these tiebreakers, because this one in particular, is going to come back when we get to our overall playoff teams. Coming in third in the AFC North at 9-7, the Cleveland Browns.
All right. What is their division record, conference record, winning, losing?
Right. All right. Cleveland goes 3-3 in the AFC North. By the way, spoiler alert: all 4 teams in the AFC North went 3-3 in the division.
Wow! That is just disrespectful.
All 4 teams 3-3 in the AFC North. I think it's that division just does it because every team always plays each other very well. So I have the Browns 3-3 in the AFC North, 7-5 in the AFC. Against winning teams, they go 2-6, but they go 7-1 against teams with a losing record. So I think they're gonna lose some games against some really good teams. I think all of their games against good teams are gonna struggle, only going 2-6. But I think against losing teams, they're gonna get the job done. They're gonna go 7-1 in that. So overall, 9-7 for Cleveland.
All right, at my finishing third in the AFC North with a 9-7 record. A 1-5 division record, a 5-7 conference record, a 3-6 record versus winning teams, a 6-1 record versus losing teams. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hold on. What was it against losing or winning?
3-6 against winning, 6-1 against losing. But here's the big one: 1-5 against the division.
Wow, really? What's the divisional win you give them?
Week 15 over the Bengals in Cincinnati, Monday Night Football.
Wow. Okay.
So yes, that means I do have Cincinnati beating them once.
Okay. I do too.
But here's why. The Steelers, and I started a series on TikTok. For those of you who follow us on TikTok, make sure you do. Pretenders or contenders. I've gone through 3 teams: the Bengals, Steelers, and Browns. What I said about the Steelers were they have a great defense, a great receiving corps, a great offensive line. But the quarterback situation, and here's what I'm going to say about the quarterback situation. The quarterback situation.
Hold on, what do you mean
It will
quarterback
be.
situation?
I'll tell you. Hold on. It will be Ben Roethlisberger. We know Ben Roethlisberger will start. It's not a question. It wasn't. I don't even think it was ever a
Right.
question. But the thing
No, it
is,
was not.
I personally think his play is going to drop off. Will he be the same after a surgery? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
I don't think he will. I don't think he
In
will.
fact,
See,
you're
I
going to
don't
hear
think
his name a little bit later on when we get to award predictions.
Well, this is going to be wonderful. Oh, you have a Steeler an award prediction? Oh, I also have a
Yeah.
Steeler for one of my award predictions.
By the way, I just realized it. Every single series for every single team is split in the AFC North. No team swept any team in any I just realized that.
All right.
AFC North, every single series was split.
Josh, who's finishing second in the AFC North?
Finishing second in the AFC North at also 9-7, same as the Browns. I have the Steelers. The Steelers do have the tiebreaker over Cleveland because the Steelers finished 7-5 against common opponents, where the Browns finished 6-6. So there are 12 teams that the Browns and Steelers both play, and the Steelers finished with
How do
barely
you
a
know?
better record.
How do you know? How do you get
At
that?
7-5 against 6-6. You click on it, it says it. So
No.
that is
How do you get what
Steelers
you just did? How do
barely
you get what you just did? How did you get how versus the teams the Steelers play there?
go on to click on the Steelers or
I just
whatever.
click on the Steelers.
Well, I will click on one where you have the same.
All
record.
I see is I have. Okay. I'll click on the same record.
Right.
Here.
Okay. That's it's a couple tiebreakers. Anyway.
SOV and SOS.
Strength of victory, strength of schedule.
All right.
Okay, so anyway.
Josh, show your two feet is the Steelers.
So I have the Steelers at 9-7 as well as Cleveland, but again, Steelers barely do win, get the tiebreaker. But the Steelers go 3-3 in the division, 7-5 in the AFC North, 5-4 against winning teams, 4-3 against losing teams.
All right. My number 2 seed going 10-6, 4-2 in the division, 8-4 in the conference, 2-5 versus winning, 8-1 versus losing. It is the Cleveland Browns going 10-6 and finishing second in the AFC North.
Not bad, not bad.
Browns are definitely contenders.
I just don't
see them as contenders.
I gotta be hesitant on them, you know? They got all the talent in the world, but will it matter? Didn't matter last year. That's the question. All right. Moving on here. My turn.
They're having an argument right now.
Yeah, I know. I it's
Bears
great.
are trash. I want to settle this. What? Okay. First off, I'll tell you this. We'll get to this in a second. The thing, this year, the Bears might be better just because the Falcons, in my opinion, have the hardest schedule. We'll get to that soon, but the Falcons, in my opinion, have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
I'll tell you what I have it as. Who have the hardest schedule? I'll tell you that in a little while.
Them or the Raiders?
Okay. Yeah, the Raiders do have a very tough schedule.
But
no. Anyway.
This. What?
That's a fact.
What? No, it's not.
No, it's not. I'm kidding. But
this is one of the worst takes I've seen about the Falcons.
What else have they done?
What
do people know them for other than blowing a 20-3 lead? What does that team known for? That's what their team's known for.
They're Absolutely. Known for being a football team.
Michael.
What?
That's not the point at all.
Well, this is the only thing the Bears are known for. What are they known for? The 85 defense?
Yeah, I mean that's something. I mean, the Falcons have never really done anything very, very good in their history, other than in terms of winning a Super Bowl. They've never won a Super Bowl. It's true. I mean, the Falcons aren't a bad team.
Yeah, but the double doink has also been going against the every single time someone talks about the Bears, the double doink. You guys double doink. It's double doink.
Yeah, but the Bears have a Super Bowl win, and the Bears have a Super Bowl win. Anyway,
okay.
Let's go back to the predictions.
Let's go. Josh, who is your 1 seed in the AFC North?
Well, it's obvious. We all know who it is. It's mine and your Baltimore Ravens. 13-3 for me. I know you have them doing a little bit better than that. I've been saying this for a while now. If the Ravens go 3-3 in the AFC North and 13-0 in all of their other games, I would not be surprised. And that's exactly what I have happening. I have a splitting Cincinnati, splitting Pittsburgh, splitting Cleveland, and winning every single one of their other games.
Out of curiosity, please tell me that the game you have Cincinnati beating us is the Week 17 game. Because we're probably going to sit our starters if we do as well as you do.
Yes, I do.
Good, because we're probably going to sit our starters. That's probably how we're going to lose.
I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, but that doesn't really, that's not a...
I think it's perfect. All right.
I don't think that's... Yeah, it's not...
My turn for the Ravens. My 1 seed, the Ravens. I have them going, ready? 16 wins, 0 losses.
You're insane.
16-0, the only team in the history of sports I have ever predicted to go undefeated. Ever. The Baltimore Ravens
Michael,
finishing 16-0.
Other than the NFL where that can actually happen. No one's ever going to do that in the NBA, NHL, or MLB. That's not saying very much.
Well,
am I wrong?
No. Okay. Right. I mean, I no. So the Ravens are going to go 16-0.
It's like, damn it, he's right.
So 6-0 divisional, 12-0 conference, 8-0 versus winning, 8-0 versus losing. That's kind of interesting. We have 8 games versus winning, 8 games versus losing.
I didn't hear Warriors of that. Anyway.
Okay. No. Hey, Mini Mursky, are the Ravens going to go undefeated? You're putting on your pajamas. Are the Ravens going to win all their games? Hello?
He doesn't care. Just anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Does not matter.
The Ravens will. Colin Cowherd said the same thing. I've heard somebody else say it.
And Colin Cowherd is wrong as well as you are.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, the Ravens going 16-0. Number 1. Can you hear them by the way?
So, I don't really care. I'm just saying that I don't. We've had this discussion before. I just don't think that the Ravens are.
Yeah, I know.
You don't realize how hard it is to go 16-0. There's a reason.
Oh no, I do understand.
Why only one team's ever done
it. I understand. I do too. Well, okay, fine. Well, one team's ever gone 16-0. 2 teams have gone undefeated. Close the door. All right.
But no,
ready?
But
I understand. I understand what it is.
It happened once, and
it happened once. That was the
in 07. With one of the best offenses in NFL history.
Sure.
Michael, our offense is amazing, but it's not all-time great.
It's the greatest rushing offense in NFL history.
Yeah, but the passing attack is not good enough for me. Where I can say it's all-time great. It's great. It's very, very good. It's probably top 20 all-time. But I'm saying one of the best of all time. I'm saying, well, the 07 Patriots is top 3 all-time. Are the Ravens offense
top 3 passing offense of all time?
Here, first of all, leave and come back. It's a delay. Leave and come back real quick.
Are you sure it's a delay?
Just a delay. There's a delay. Yeah, but no. First of all, you look at overall yards. The Patriots is absolutely. Okay, so no.
And very well how hard it is to go 16-0. I get that. I get that. And I get this too. In the modern day NFL, you get a better pass game in the run game. And this has been the excuse why. Yeah, but I'll tell you this. You do. I personally believe the Ravens have a good passing attack. They're not top in the league. Mark Andrews, in my opinion, by the end of the season, as part of my predictions, by the end of the season, will be put in that conversation with George Kittle and Travis Kelce. And I'm not kidding.
Wow. All right.
I think it'll be Kittle, Kelce, Andrews. I do.
I actually do too.
I think. Well, okay.
Well, I think Kelce and Kittle will still have the top 2 spots, but I think Andrews will overtake Ertz for the clear cut.
By the way, one more thing I want to add.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm being biased.
No, you're not. I don't think you are.
I'm not, because Josh, you think the Ravens are the best team in the NFL.
I do.
I think the Ravens will be the best team in the NFL. I say the best team in the NFL.
No one is accusing you of being biased, though. I don't know why you even brought that up. No one's accusing you of being biased.
I know. I guarantee you that they will. See?
Okay.
Well, look at that.
I don't believe you're being biased.
Someone just accused me of being biased. No, the Ravens are the best.
You're wrong. I think you disagree.
I can tell you that if I would be a Steeler, okay, if I would be a Steelers fan, if I would be like a Chargers fan, well, then it wouldn't be alive. But if I would because there is no Chargers fans.
Look,
I
you
wouldn't be
could
Chargers.
just say Colin
Okay, you
Cowherd
know
agrees
what?
with you and move
If
on.
I would be a Chargers fan,
You could just say that Colin Cowherd agrees with you and you can move on.
okay, if I would be a Chargers fan, I would still say the Ravens go 16-0. All right, let's move on to the AFC South. That consists of the Texans, Colts, Titans, and the Jaguars. Josh, who finishes last in the AFC South?
First of all, I will tell you this right now. In my original predictions, because what I do is I go week by week, and then I look at what every team's record is, and I change a couple things. I'm like, okay, this team's not going to be this good, or this team's not going to be that bad. And when I finished doing the Jaguars, I actually had them going 0-16. So I had to go back, and I did give them a win in week 4 against Cincinnati. So they go 1-15. They are, in my opinion, it is not even close, the worst team in the NFL. I think they are. I think they are a horrible, horrible football team. I don't think they have anything really going for them for the future. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a good offense.
I think their future's good. I think they're trending in the up direction. I've said that before.
Yeah, but you're assuming they have Trevor Lawrence. I'm saying right now.
Well,
right now in 2020, they have nothing going for them.
Can we spoil something? Because the Jaguars are also my 4 seed. Could we spoil something?
I haven't been the number 1 overall pick too.
Spoiler
but I'm
alert,
saying for
they're
2020.
getting the first overall pick. Spoiler alert, they will draft Trevor Lawrence. Spoiler alert number 3, it's not up for consideration. And spoiler alert number 4, the Jaguars are turning upward because they will draft Trevor Lawrence.
Now, we're talking about 2020. Hold on.
I understand.
They have anything going
By the way,
them.
I don't have either have them going 1-15. I have them going 2-14.
Okay.
I have them beating the Bengals. I'm beating the Bengals in week 4 and then beating the upset in week 13 against the Vikings.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, in Minnesota. So yeah, 0-6 in the division, 1-11 in the conference. 2-5 versus losing record teams. So look,
I have them 0-9 against winning, 1-6 against losing.
By the way, once we get to the Falcons, I think this is a conversation. I think the Falcons might be one of the most interesting teams in the NFL. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but
we'll get to that once we get to the Falcons. We'll get to that because I have a lot to say about the Falcons.
You guys know I think they should rebuild. I've been into that before.
That's right. But I've been monitoring the sportscaster comments. We have had no comments, or we did, but then those comments went over to the Twitch. So
I like it on Twitch better. If you want to comment, I suggest you use Twitch. It's better on Twitch because we can actually put it on here.
All right, here's the thing. Okay, let's go. Josh, your 3 seed is. I'm sorry. You're finishing 3rd in the AFC South.
There you go. Finishing 3rd in the AFC South. One of my surprises. I thought I have them do a little bit better, but I don't. At 8-8, Houston Texans.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this.
Honestly, I was surprised by this because I don't think the Texans got too much worse this offseason. Obviously, with the exception of losing DeAndre Hopkins, of course. But
with the exception of having one of the worst off seasons in the NFL.
But I'm saying other than losing Hopkins, I think when you look at their roster in terms of future, they are screwed. But I think we're talking about right now, where their roster was before and where they are now, it's got worse, but it didn't get too much worse.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that this year Deshaun Watson proves that he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, I think he does in proving that he can get these guys to 8 wins.
See, that's where I come in. I think the Texans, they're my 3 seed. I think they're going 5-11.
Wow. What?
Yep, I have Houston going 5-11. I didn't like this. I hated this. I'm looking at their schedule. I think it's a pretty good schedule.
Well, here's my thing. Okay,
I think it's a pretty rough schedule, is what I mean. I think it's a pretty rough schedule.
The first half is. I have them starting.
See, I want to go. You know what? This is gonna be.
They start 1-6 for me, and we're gonna
have only a handful of teams that I think we should go game by game for.
I agree. I think this is one we can do.
And I think this is one we can do that. All right, week 1 against Kansas City.
We both have a loss here, I assume.
Yeah, I think it's an easy Kansas City win. Week 2 against Baltimore. Again, easy Baltimore win. Week 3 against Pittsburgh.
Loss.
I have a loss. Week 4 against Minnesota. Loss. I have a loss. Week 5 against Jacksonville. Win. I have a win. Week 6 against Tennessee. Loss. Week 7 against Green Bay. Loss. Week 8 is their bye. Week 9, they come off the bye. Win against Jacksonville. Week 10, loss to Cleveland. All right, we're on the same page for the first 10 weeks.
So hold on. So look at this, though. Keep this in mind. Okay, I have them starting off 2-7.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's keep going. Week 11,
I have a win.
Against the Patriots, I have a
Win.
loss. That's the first
Okay.
disagreement of the schedule. Week 12, Texans
have a win.
Lions. We can both say we have a win. Week 13,
I
Colts
have a
versus
win.
Texans. I have a loss.
Okay.
Week 14 against Chicago.
I have a win.
I have a win. Week 15 against the Texans.
Loss.
I have a win.
That's against the Colts, by the way. Not
I know.
against the Texans.
Okay, you're right. Huh. Yeah. And then week 16 against Cincinnati.
Win.
I have a loss.
Hmm.
One of my upsets. Week 17 against Tennessee.
Win.
Loss.
So there you go. I have them
By the way,
starting
I try to say the only thing
2 and
me
7
Josh
and
actually-
finishing
Right.
8 and 8.
I have them starting.
I have them going 6 and 1
I
down
have
the
them starting
stretch.
2 and 7 and finishing 5 and 11. I have them beating the Jaguars twice and the Lions. Bears.
I think they're going to save Bill O'Brien's
look, I
job in
wanna
the
say
second half of the season.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because I don't really think Bill O'Brien's job is really up for jeopardy.
If they go
I think
5 and 11, that guy's fired. I guarantee you that.
Well, I think he's going to be replaced as general manager. Man, I think he should be.
No,
anyway.
no, Michael. Michael, if you are right and they go
Fine,
5 and 11,
fine,
Bill O'Brien's
fine.
fired.
You know
I
what?
can
Yeah,
guarantee
Bill
that.
O'Brien is fired. Fine. Bill O'Brien is fired after this year. I'll say that. But no, this is gonna be 3 and 3 against the division, 3-9 against the conference, 1 and 8 versus winning teams, 4 and 3 versus losing teams.
I
That's
have them
not-
2 and 7 against
Texans,
winning,
rather.
6 and 1 against losing.
See, that's where we are. I have them losing to. Stop it. I have them losing to the Bengals and the Steelers.
Okay. All right, let's move on here again. All right, let's
Alright,
keep going.
Come on.
Ari's out of popcorn. He should go get a refill.
I have like a bunch downstairs.
I got Fisher's popcorn today.
Please leave. I'm trying to work.
Bye, Minnie Mirsky.
All right, we're gonna go to our close the door. We will go to our Josh. Who do you have finished second?
Well, I have two teams. Two teams finished 10 and 6. The Titans and Colts both finished 10 and 6. However, the tiebreaker goes to head to head.
Ooh.
So Titans and Colts, one of these two teams swept, and I have the Titans sweeping the Colts. So the Colts finished second at 10 and 6. The Titans win it at 10 and 6, but we'll get to the Colts first. So the Colts 3 and 3 in the division, 7 and 5 in the AFC, 3 and 3 against winning,
Brother just
7 and
threw
3
strawberry at
against
my head.
losing.
I gotta say he has good aim.
That's a nice shot. But I have them 10 and 6. I have them finishing same record as the Titans, who I have winning the division. But again, I said that I have the Titans sweeping the Colts, so that's how they get the win. He got you again.
He got me again with a Nemo.
All right, just don't throw it back. Why would you throw it back?
Oh, I kind of want to get it back. All right, fine. Here at second is an easy choice. I have, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. Yo,
This is getting impressive.
I'm keeping this.
Smart. This is getting impressive, though. He got you in the head 3 times in a row.
You know, I think you're more accurate than Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, I know. You know what? Trubisky.
Josh Allen.
Yes. Guess what? You know who Josh Allen
Kirk
is?
Cousins
Not,
is one of the
not,
most
not,
accurate quarterbacks in the league. It's the last quarterback you should say.
not Josh Berman. Josh Allen
And
is the quarterback for the Bills. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Josh is gone. Okay. Either go to my room or leave. No. All right. I want to talk about the Tennessee Titans because
my entire internet just crashed. I'm back though.
the Titans don't go 10 and 6. They go 9 and 7.
Okay, that would
And
be
I'm
what, the 5th year in a row?
Yeah. And I'm gonna add something here, which I just realized I had. They're not making the playoffs.
No playoffs for the Titans?
No playoffs for the Titans.
Okay.
How did you get the strawberry? I didn't throw it to you.
Probably went back and got it.
Yeah, I'm keeping this. The Titans go 9 and 7, miss the playoffs. I have them going 4 and 2 in the division, 6 and 6 versus the conference, 5 and 3 at home.
It's
They
pretty
don't-
crazy. Some of the Falcons predictions that he has. Anyway,
I mean, look, I don't think it's absurd for the amount of talent they have, but
I think it is incredibly absurd.
all right, well, they're one of the most talented teams in the NFL. Once again, we'll get to that soon. Although I think we're going to have a similar, if not the same, record prediction. Okay, I'm gonna either I might have to go and tell him.
Yeah, go deal with that. I could talk here
Hold
about.
on, I want to talk about the Well, I could still do be here. I want to talk about the Tennessee Titans. Um,
Okay.
here. I'm still here. I'm just gonna have my camera off. I want to talk about the Titans because the Titans are a team. Obviously, you have Derrick Henry. You still have Derrick Henry. All right, Josh. Here,
Yeah,
talk.
deal with that. Deal with
Don't
that.
take
Deal
me
with that.
off. Don't take me off. But talk.
Okay. So for me, I'll talk about the Colts and Titans here, both of them, because I have them finishing with the same record of 10-6. I have the reason why I gave the Titans those two victories, though, is first of all, historically the Colts have had them beat, and I think that we are seeing, but it's a situation. It's different now. Is you have to ask a guy named Philip Rivers to be clutch, and even the biggest Philip Rivers fans know one thing: he is not. Philip Rivers is not a clutch quarterback. He never has been. He never will be. Even the biggest Rivers fans can admit that. So I think in situations where they need to win, they won't do it. And that's why I had the Titans beating them.
I
It's
locked
simple
the
as that.
door.
Did you hear a word I said?
Nope.
Okay. By the way, the Falcons secondary is horrible. I don't know what you're talking about. But
We'll get to that when we get there.
But yeah, I was saying
Talk about the
I'll give you
Falcons
the
more
reason.
than the Titans.
I'll give you the reason here. Is
For
I
what?
believe that the reason why the Titans sweeping them is I think in a situation where you ask Philip Rivers to be clutch, he won't be able to do it. Corona. Who do you have?
I should have Philip Rivers winning. What?
Oh my
Nothing.
God. What is? Okay, whatever. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, actually, I just changed one of my word predictions.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna talk about the. Okay, let's talk about the Titans here. So I have the
Yeah, now you have the Colts winning the division. What's the Colts?
sweeping the Titans.
But what do you have the Colts record being?
We're
11 just talking about both teams right now, basically.
11-5.
Okay, wow, you have 11-5. Okay, so well, actually, that's not like that doesn't deserve a wow.
So 9-7. So that's a two-game Colts win. They have a top 10 quarterback in the NFL in the regular season.
No, they don't. But okay.
They do. Okay. Name is Philip Rivers.
I genuinely think Jacoby Brissett's a better quarterback.
Okay.
Right now, yeah. Right now, I would take Jacoby Brissett over him. I really would. If it was up to me, I would start Brissett.
Mind? Well, I don't think
this is that crazy. I really don't think that's that crazy.
Insane. That's miles more bold than saying he's a top 10 quarterback.
Okay. It could be bold, but it still can be correct.
Okay.
I think that Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than Philip Rivers is right now. I think Jacoby Brissett had a better year than he did last year. I mean, that's not up for argument. That's not my only reason. I think Brissett's been around the Colts system longer, meaning he knows it better. He is a guy who, I mean, meaning not only that.
Cold system, huh? Can you explain?
Frank Reich system? He's been there for years.
No more Eric Ebron. Now you have Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., who I will not count
but Jacoby Brissett
over T.Y. Hilton with wide receiver number 1. I really wouldn't.
Oh, okay, but I'm talking about the playbook.
Right. That is true.
And in an offseason like this, where Philip Rivers does not have the same resources that he normally would have in switching teams, something he doesn't have any experience in to begin with, that's tough for you to ask any quarterback to do. I don't care how good you are. It's tough for Brady to do.
By the way, we have some breaking news. The Dallas Cowboys are finalizing a deal with Everson Griffin.
Oh, wow.
I
don't have my phone with me. Wow, okay, that's an interesting move for them.
Yeah.
That's a good move. Very good move.
Marcus Lawrence, Everson Griffin, Gerald McCoy.
Well, DeMarcus Lawrence isn't any good anymore, so I think that's a good move to really replace Marcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence is still very good.
Well, he hasn't been good ever since he got paid.
The Seahawks and Vikings went back and forth for pass rushers Everson Griffin. The Cowboys quietly went to work, and out of nowhere, they had a key piece.
Yeah, but that's a good move by Dallas. That doesn't change my prediction or anything. I think it's a good move. But going back to the Colts and the Titans, I mean, not Colts and Titans, going back to Brissett, it's in any offseason, no matter.
Okay.
He's not slow. Hold on. Speed is not. Never
get up and get the 50-50 balls. First off, I don't even think speed is like a huge.
It's not.
First off,
I think Pittman's gonna be
he kind of reminds me of Julio, to be honest. A little.
Hold on. Oh, I thought you meant Calvin Johnson. I'm about to say, what are you talking about? Okay. Wait, I don't even care about that right now. Okay, hold on.
All right, yeah, but what were we talking about?
Brissett.
Percent. Yeah,
I think Brissett gives the Colts a better chance to win, especially short term.
What do you mean? But like,
Well,
Rivers
neither of them are
has more
franchise guys.
experience. I think Philip Rivers is a franchise guy. Maybe not now.
Okay, no, yeah, I'm talking right now. Because even at Rivers' peak, even though I've never been a huge Philip Rivers guy, at his peak, of course, Philip Rivers is a franchise quarterback. That's not what I was saying. I'm
Philip
saying
Rivers
right now.
is he a Hall of Famer? I don't think he is.
Philip Rivers?
I don't think he is.
I think he's not, but I think he'll get in.
I think he
I
could
think
be.
he'll be a Hall of Famer. I don't think he deserves to be, but I think he will be.
Well, he's definitely not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, I do not. Don't think he's a first ballot. I think Philip Rivers will be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he deserves to be.
It's not easy getting into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I think he'll get in.
All right.
He'll at least get close. But I do not think he deserves to, no. If I was a Hall of Fame voter, I would not vote for him.
So, Ari, by the way, you spelled O wrong.
Whatever. So,
no, okay. The thing with first off, you're out of your mind. So I have the 5 losses for the Colts being week 2 of Vikings. So yes, that is right. I do have the Jaguars beating the Vikings with the Colts losing to the Vikings.
wow, okay.
Then they lose to the Ravens week 9, lose to the Packers week 11, lose to the Texans week 15, lose to the Steelers week 16.
Okay. All right, let's move on here to the AFC East.
All right, let's go to the AFC East. Here we go. Josh, your number 4 seed.
Coming in at a record that is better than I thought they would come in at 4-12, the New York Jets.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Better than I thought I would have them finishing. However, and here's what's amazing though, is now they go 1-5 in the division, 3-9 in the AFC. Now they go 1-8 against winning teams. The winning team, for those wondering what team I have them beating, Michael, it's the Colts. I have them upsetting the Colts in week 3.
That's the Sam Darnold Quentin Nelson trade, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I mean, Sam Darnold has flashes. He's. I think that's a game where, for some weird reason, Sam Darnold flashes like a really elite game. And for that 1 week, he plays like a genuinely elite quarterback, even though he's not. He plays like it that week, and I think the Jets steal that win against the Colts. So that's why I did that. And then 3-4 against losing teams.
By the way, we know about Everson Griffin and Dallas, but yeah. So I don't have them beating the Colts, but I'll say this: I am going 2-14.
That's around where I thought I'd have them, but
what?
No,
What do you have them winning? Which games do you have them winning? Please tell me.
I have them beating let's find them. Dolphins in week 10, Raiders week 13, and Rams week 15.
I have them losing all 3 of those games.
Oh, okay. Wait, what's the other win? Wait, so you have all of my wins that I have the Jets getting. You have them losing. So what are the 2 games you have them winning?
I have them beating the Bills in week 7.
Okay.
No reaction?
Well, I mean, the Bills and Jets. The Jets have stolen a couple games.
Yep.
In the last
And then I have them beating the Chargers in week 6.
So you have their 2 wins being back to back, huh?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah, their schedule is pretty tough, I think. No, I have the Raiders winning, the Rams winning, the Colts winning. It's kind of funny, and I have the Dolphins winning.
Yeah.
But the Week 12 game, by the way, it's one of the few where both teams coming off a bye.
Yeah,
it's the Dolphins game. All right, Josh, your 3 seed.
I'm ready for the reaction here. 7-9 Miami Dolphins.
You know why I'm not going to give a reaction, because I knew this was coming because you've said it before, but you're insane.
And I do want to make this clear though, real quick. Before I go into details of 7-9, I have them finishing 3-2
in the division.
No, in their last 5 games, they finished 3-2. Because I think at the end of the season, even though I believe that Tua should do the whole year, I think by the last 5 weeks of the season, coming off of their Week 11 bye, Tua will have either already came in or.
You have them going 3-2 in the last 5?
Yeah.
I haven't going 3-2 in the last 5.
Right. I think those 5 games, if Tua's not playing by then, I think a Week 12 start against the Jets actually be a really great place for him to come in, coming off the bye week against the Jets. I think would be, if you're going to start him at all this season, I think that's the game where you put him in. And I think with Tua in the game,
In my
they play
opinion,
well. I think Tua plays well, and I think they go 3-2 in their last 5 games.
you want to know where I start him if I'm Dolphins? I start him against the Patriots when they're playing in New England. You want to know what week that is?
That's week 1, but why?
Because I think Tua is as capable, if not more capable, than Ryan Fitzpatrick of leading them.
Right. But you are saying they really want to go all win now. That's where I don't. The other thing, though, is not only is it 3-2, I think it's 2. I think it's also just simply these guys have a very tough start to their schedule, and I think it's not that tough, but it's not as hard as I'm saying it is, but it's decently difficult. And I think also you look at the fact that this team has just had so many changes over the offseason. I think it's going to be very difficult for them for the first 6-7 weeks because they're still learning each other's names. You know, it's going to be difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once they really have all gelled together, they will play well.
All right. Well,
by the way, details real quick. I go through this. 2-4 in the division, 5-7 in the AFC.
All right.
1-6 against winning, 6-3 against losing.
All right. Well, very close to winning one. For me, but all right. What would you say, by the way, for the conference?
In the AFC, I have them going 5-7.
Okay. My finishing third in the AFC East, I have the now Cam Newton-led New England Patriots. Josh has gone. Let's talk some Patriots. Let's talk about these New England Patriots. By the way, the 76ers are up on the Raptors.
I said 5-7, and then I went out.
All right. Well, anyway, let's talk about the New England Patriots here. I'm going 7-9, finishing 4-2 the division, 7-5 in conference.
So wait, you have third being the Patriots?
Yeah, 2-8 versus
7-9?
winning. Yes.
Okay.
2-8 versus winning, 5-1 versus losing. But I just gave an update on the Raptors Sixers game. It's a 1.6 lead with 1 minute to go.
Okay.
No.
What do you have their division record being?
4-2.
Okay.
By the way, question. So I assume they're the 2 seed.
I
assume they're your 2 seed, or that they're your.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Well, because I want to compare.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Yes, they're second in my division. I have them going 8-8.
Yeah, I'm going 7-9. Which game do you have them winning? And I don't.
Yeah, I was going to go through all of their wins.
Go ahead.
All right. Week 1, Miami.
Win. Yeah, let's go together. Week 1, Miami win. Week 2, Seattle loss. Week 3, Vegas
loss.
Win.
I mean, I'm sorry, win.
Okay. Week 4, Kansas City.
That's a loss. That's why I got it mixed up, actually.
Week 5, Denver loss. There you go.
That's probably might be it, but let's keep going. Just
that is it. That's the difference between 8-8, 7-9, one game.
Yeah, but it might be actually. Yeah, let's just say that's it.
And what you have them beating? So you have them
yeah,
losing
no, good point. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule.
Hold on. So week 14 and week 15, you have them losing to the Rams and Dolphins.
Correct.
Nice, me too. All right. Yep. So my team finishing second at 10-6. Well, I have a race for first, and that race. Don't do that again.
What?
Breathe right into the microphone.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I didn't realize.
All right. Yeah. No. So here we go. 2-team race between the Bills and the Dolphins. I'll say this: both go 10-6. The tiebreaker is the Bills go 3-3 in the division. The Dolphins go 4-2. The Dolphins grab the 1 seed in the East. The Bills grab the 2 seed in the East. Let's talk about Buffalo here. 7-5 in the conference.
Wow.
Yes, I do have the Dolphins winning the East. 5-4 versus winning teams. 5-2.
I didn't think you'd actually do it. I thought you would change it. I really did.
No.
I thought by the time we got to it, I thought you would change it. I thought you would change your mind. You would realize the Bills are the better team.
Well,
but
I don't
no,
think they are. I don't think
you
they are.
really went out here. You really live here on Sportscaster and Twitch. You picked this team to win the division. You really think the Dolphins are winning the AFC East?
Yes, I do believe the Dolphins will win the AFC East.
And why is that? You think you don't think they're going to struggle? What do you have their record being in the first 6 weeks?
Who, the Dolphins or the Bills?
Dolphins. Because I have them starting 2 and 4.
6 weeks. So this would be
Week 1 through 6.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, I'm starting 2 and 5, by the way. 2 and 5.
2 and 4. 2 and 4. I have them starting 2 and 4.
But you have them going 3 and 4 or 2 and 5?
Wait, what do you mean 2 and 5 in the
Well, who do you have? Do you have them winning or losing week 7?
in the winning?
Okay, well that's where we disagree. Okay, I
So,
think they lost
3 and
against the
4.
Chargers. Just 2 and 5, they're done. If they go 3
I
and 4,
can't wait for that Chargers game. Keep an eye on that Week 7 game, by the way. That's 2 versus
yeah, I agree with that. That's gonna be a fun game.
Maybe. That might not be 2 versus Herbert, according to Josh's.
Even if Tua isn't playing, I think that is gonna be a big game.
Actually, that might even be Taylor versus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, very, very well could be. But I'm saying, like, no matter who's playing quarterback, I think that's a very big game.
I agree. I think that's gonna be a big game. But no. After, by the way, I just want to say after that, after the first 6 weeks where I'm going 2 and 4, I have them winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row.
Okay, so you have them hitting their stride a
That
little before I do.
includes the Cardinals after their bye in Arizona.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. But it doesn't matter. It's in Arizona. It's no fans.
Well, look, there might be fans.
Nah, I did this under the assumption of no fans.
Yeah,
I did all these predictions all these predictions you're doing right now. I'm doing under the assumption with no
by the way,
fans.
every single year, me and Josh both take into account fans, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Can we say that confidently? We both take into account
Absolutely.
Fans? All right. Yeah, let's talk about Buffalo here. I want to talk about the Bills.
I haven't gone 11 and 5.
You know, I want to compare. compare and contrast. See if the Bills going on. Okay.
And then the Patriots being better than the Dolphins. And the Patriots second at 8 and 8. The Dolphins at 7 and 9.
I understand that. All right. I want to talk about some of their rosters. We've compared it before, but like
we don't need to talk about the rosters because I don't think that's the question.
I want to go.
I think that. Well, hold on. Let's stop here. I think the Dolphins might have better roster.
What's the question? What's your question?
Who is better roster? I think if that's the question.
No. I'm asking. What is the question? Because I think that's the question. I think
if that's the question, I think Miami has a chance. I mean, there's an argument.
All right. So what is the question? What does Buffalo have over Miami? What?
They have the fact that they are not a very different team from last year.
So they have chemistry.
No, it's not that. They have the fact that they don't have to go through this brutal offseason and then have to have a bunch of new players on their playbook. The only player that the only real big move they made was bringing in a receiver.
Hold on, but that receiver, in my opinion, consists of 2 people because that receiver is one of the few players in the NFL, in my opinion, that could tear down an offense. But that's my.
Wait, hold on. What?
Okay, fine. I'm not tear down, but I think he's one of the few receivers that I think could.
First of all, the reason for that is because he can get the ball.
Cause locker room issues. I know. No.
Do you think Cole Beasley or John Brown's gonna take away from catches from Stephon Diggs? No way.
Well, I mean, they will take away catches, but they're not like right. Diggs is gonna get
not the way Adam Thielen did.
Well, the way Adam
Thielen did. We can agree with that.
Sure. Right. We can agree with that. We can.
Right.
No.
So why would he be mad?
No, I'm not saying he will be. I love Diggs. Diggs is one of my favorite players. I'm just saying.
Well, then why would you make that point if it doesn't matter?
Well, because he did it in Minnesota. That's I would just say if I would have to pick 5 receivers to not going to be tear down. I don't think he could tear down a locker room.
I don't fully disagree.
Problem. I would put Diggs on the list. That's all.
I don't disagree with you there, but I am going to say that doesn't matter because he's not in that situation anymore. That's what I am going to say.
Right.
So I don't think that matters. But I will say that, but you look at it, it comes down to the fact that I think Sean McDermott, who I think is just as good, if not a better coach than Brian Flores, who, by the way, did massive extension today. Congrats to him. I think that you look at it, and he is a receiver. Not a receiver. He is a coach that doesn't have to deal with too much
defensive-minded coach.
Brian Flores does.
Well, look,
he has to get a ton of guys here, and it's a younger team.
Well, okay,
That's 2 obstacles right there.
I get that, but Brian Flores, the Dolphins on offense, the Dolphins got a new quarterback. That's huge.
But
God,
you know what else is?
what?
It's tough to adjust. That's the whole thing.
Starting off, I know. Well, I think Tua is one of the smartest players in this year's draft.
But it doesn't matter how smart you are. I'm talking. I think I'm taking this.
I
I
can
don't think it's gonna. It's not going to affect them
No,
as much as I have it affecting Miami. But I think Tampa gets off to a little bit of a slower start as well.
in terms of a start, I disagree. But well,
it's not a horrible start. It's not like I have them starting 0-4. No, but I have them losing a game that there's one game in the first 4 weeks that I have Tampa losing that they should win.
Me too. Same here. And I bet it's the same one.
I would be very surprised if it isn't. Week 3 against Denver?
No.
Oh.
Week 4 against LA.
Oh no, I have them winning that.
Really? That's funny. So the guy that's high on Denver has them beating.
Happened.
The guy that's high on LA has him beating LA, and then you're low on Denver, I'm low on LA, and then
I'm not really low on Denver.
It just works weird. No. Ooh.
You're high on Denver.
I am high on Denver.
But you're not low on the Chargers. You know, it's just we're higher on that team.
I'm not low. Right. All right.
You're not low on Chargers. I'm not really low on Denver.
Speaking of the Broncos and Chargers, let's move on to the AFC West. And Josh, who do you have finishing last in the AFC West?
We talked about this very whole long time ago, and I did go through it. The team I have, statistically, according to I have this season, the way working out, the team that did have the hardest schedule in the league is the Las Vegas Raiders. They get off to a 2-14 season, 0-6 in the division, 0-12 in the AFC. 1-8 against winning teams, 1-6 against losing.
So what is their record?
Week 1 against Carolina. Week 7 against the Bucs.
No. What is their So you 2-14.
Yeah.
7. Wow. Hold on. You have them beating week 7. You have them beating Tampa Bay.
Yep. I do.
That is off the Raiders bye week. But
that's the thing. I think first of all, come off the Raiders bye week. I think it's a situation where the Bucs. I think it's just a weird trap game.
Really? And you have them beating Carolina too, huh?
Well, yeah, that's just yeah.
I don't have them beating Carolina.
But I don't think they're.
Yeah, I am higher in Carolina though.
I think the Panthers are very much. But I think the Panthers are a little bit better, but not by much, than the Raiders. I think they're both bad teams right now. I think the Panthers are going in a much better direction, but I think they're around the same level.
All right. I have the Raiders, although I don't have them going 2-14. I have them going 3-13. I have them beating in week 13. I have them beating the Jets in week 15, beating the Chargers.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. In Vegas, Thursday Night Football under the bright lights, Allegiant Stadium. I know there's no fans. I don't care. But by the way,
3-13. Who's the other win?
Oh, Jets, Chargers, and I do have them beating the Panthers.
Oh, about to say.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Well, you could change it.
I remember. That's because I remember the Panthers I thought were too good, so I needed to change one game on their schedule. So I picked that one because I thought out of the ones that I had them losing, rather winning, that was the most losable.
Okay.
All right. Our 3 seed the team that will finish third in the AFC West.
I have finishing at 8-8. However, they're going 8-8, but I'm looking at their schedule. I just realized I did this. I have them starting, so they go 8-8, but they start 7-2. The Denver Broncos. 7-2 start.
Their backstretch. I don't even think their backstretch is that bad.
I think
that's actually insane. Wow.
I think their inexperience is going to catch up to them in the second half of the season.
Okay. So you're telling me
they're going to overachieve to start.
Hold on, you going 7-2 in the first 9?
I do.
I have them going 6-3. Wow.
And then losing in week 2 to the Steelers, week 5 to the Patriots, and getting all of the other first 9. But I think that the only win they get through the last.
Because they got into an argument.
To finish the season, the only win I have them getting is week 17 against Vegas. Other than that, they completely collapsed in the stretch. They go 7-2. Then they go 0-5.
Week 17 against Vegas, actually, or week 10 against Vegas?
7-2, 0-5, and then they win against the Raiders.
In week 17?
Yeah.
So that is...
That's 5. So that's 6 straight losses.
No, I know. I see that. I was just looking at the teams they were playing. Even beating, or rather, even losing to the Chargers, losing to the Panthers.
I have the Chargers sweeping them, yes.
That's where we're not the same.
Yeah.
What did I just do? Aw, dang it.
What'd you do?
Not again.
What did you do? The face, Michael's face right now is.
No, something just changed. Something just changed. Shoot. No! I forgot what I did. I forgot how I had winning that game.
Well, just make up your mind now. What's the game?
Playoff.
Oh, well then just change it now. Do what you think now. Who cares if this is what you had before? What do you think right now?
Alright, what? I didn't do this. Alright, well this is insane. I'm not the Bengals. It says here I have the Bengals, Lions, and Jaguars making the playoffs. What?
Oh God, Michael, I know what happened. This happens on player predictors every once in a while. You're screwed. Hold on. Hit back.
No, I'm not. Good thing I opened a new tab. Good thing I opened a new tab.
I'm about to say, I know what happened.
This does happen. I know.
That happened before.
I know. This happens all the time on playoff predictors. I know that. I'm well aware. I'm well aware, Josh.
Yeah.
One of the worst feelings in the world.
Oh my God, it terrifies me sometimes. But yeah, you're fine now.
It gives me heart attacks.
Yep. Okay. We all good now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Denver going 8-8. I think they're inexperienced pitchers to them. I think they get tired. I don't think Vic Fangio is a good enough head coach. I just don't.
I will get to him soon.
And then I think these two teams are packaged together because obviously
I don't think it's close. I can tell you right now.
The Chargers are like packaged together. So I'm just gonna go through the Chargers also right here and then
hold on. I don't think the Broncos and Chargers are packaged together.
But we can agree it's second and third.
3 seed, yes. The 3 seed though, the Chargers. I have.
No, don't say your record. Don't say your record. I want to give my record for the Chargers, and then you can give your record for the Broncos and the Chargers as well.
All right, that's fine.
So for me, I have the Chargers going 9-7, 4-2 in the division, 9-3 in the AFC, 0-5 against winning teams. Believe it or not, but they're very easy schedule.
5 against winning teams. What?
Yeah, but they go 9-2 against losing teams.
Oh, hold on. Are these our winning teams?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was last year's winning teams. That makes sense because so far we've had the same amount of winning teams. This is different now because I have them playing 8 winning teams.
Yeah, and I have them only playing 5. I have them losing all of them, but they do go 9-2 against losing teams.
I have them beating one of their winning teams. The winning team I have them beating is the that would be the that's the Buccaneers. I already said that. Week 4.
Okay. So yeah, I have them going 9-7. I think that
we'll see. What is the Broncos' record prediction? You said
8-8.
8-8. So that's a 1-game difference, right?
I think those two teams are close. Even though I think it's very close between those two.
I don't think it's close. As a matter of fact, this is not a 1 point. This is not a 1-win thing. This is not a 2-win thing. It's a 7-win thing.
What? What's their Broncos record?
The Chargers go 4-12. The Broncos go 11-5.
4-12.
Broncos go 11-5.
Okay, like your Denver Broncos 11-5 thing, I definitely disagree with you. But like, I understand you really like Denver. I understand there are a couple games there that they could win. But 4-12 for the Chargers? That's something that I cannot get behind. That's something I think is absolutely insane. The Chargers, you have the Chargers going 4-12.
Yeah, let's go through their schedule. Let's go through their schedule.
Yes, let's do.
All right, let's start with week 1.
Win.
Loss.
Okay, that's against Cincinnati.
That's against Joe Burrow. Week 2.
Week 2 against the Chiefs. Loss.
Chiefs. Loss. Week 3 against the Panthers.
Loss.
Loss. Week 4 against the Buccaneers.
Loss.
Win. Week 5 against the Saints.
Loss.
Loss. Week 6 against the Jets.
Win.
Loss. Week 7 against the Dolphins.
Win.
Loss. Week 8 against the Jaguars.
Win.
Win. Week 9 against the Raiders.
Win.
Win. Week 11 against the Broncos.
Win.
Loss. Week 12 against the Bills.
Loss.
Loss. Week 13 against the Patriots.
Win.
Loss. Week 14 against the Falcons.
Loss.
Win.
Ah.
Week 15 against the Raiders.
Win.
Loss.
Hmm.
Week 16 against the Broncos.
Win.
Loss. Week 17 against the Chiefs.
Loss.
Win. Loss. So, but hold on, Josh. Was anything I said there crazy?
Yes. Hold on. Go through your wins. Who do you have them beating?
I have them beating the Buccaneers, the
Bucks.
Jaguars, the Raiders, and the Falcons.
Okay. So that means Bucks, Jags, Raiders, Falcons.
Here, I'll tell you the big ones they lose to.
You don't think
Bengals,
they can beat the Jets?
Panthers, Jets,
How about the Jets?
Patriots. Nope. No. And Raiders I'm losing to too. But
The
no,
Jets,
the
you
Jets,
don't think they can beat.
like, I have the Jets going 2-14. Like, no,
You think
no,
that's the game though, where it's like the Jets will go back and win that game?
I do.
You think that low of the Chargers?
I do. I don't think that low of the Chargers.
No, you're low on the Chargers. They haven't gone 4-12.
But Josh, I feel like a lot of these games are interchangeable. Same with the Raiders, but they just get unlucky.
I agree with the Raiders.
In my
but I think
opinion,
that
the
Chargers team is
Bengals
good.
will finish better. The Chiefs
You
will.
really think that?
Yes, I think the Panthers will finish better. They get unlucky. That's a winnable game that I don't think they could win. The Jets, that's a very winnable game that I think they can win. I don't think they will win. The Dolphins, that might be a winnable game. I don't think they can win. The Patriots, that's another winnable game. They get unlucky. The Raiders, I have an
No, but you think, well, it's unlucky if they lose a couple. They're
two
not that
upsets.
good
I have two
if
upsets.
they lose all these games. Michael,
No,
if you are right,
I have two upsets. I have two upsets. There
no,
will
but
be
Michael, if
favored
you're
against
right
the
and they lose all
Patriots.
these games, that's not unlucky. It's just they're not that good.
No, I think they're unlucky with their schedule. I do think. Look. I can
But
tell you
if
right
they lose
now.
all of
Hold
the
on,
winnable
Josh,
games.
hold on. 17 game schedule or 16 games. I can tell you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of those 16 games, Josh, are winnable.
Okay.
And I have them
And
winning
what do you have their
4,
record being in those games?
4 and 8.
Right. So if you
Well, hold on. I want to go through those winnable games. The Bengals.
give me 1 second,
I have them-
Michael, I don't want to cut you off here. My computer's about to die. I'm gonna run and go get a charger.
all right, I'll talk about the
Right,
Chargers.
Chargers. But I'll be right back.
Was that a pun? It was kind of.
Yes, it was. But I actually need to go get a charger. I'll be right back.
All right, you do that. All right, I'll talk about the Chargers. While Josh wants to get the Charger, let's charge up about the Chargers. Nope, I lost it. Look, they have 12 winnable games in the schedule. They do. I think they have 12 winnable games in the schedule. I truly believe that. Now, out of those 12, I think they're going to lose 8 of them, and I can tell you why. Look, this Bengals game, it's winnable. I don't think it's going to happen. You have the Panthers game, winnable. I don't think it's going to happen. The Buccaneers game, winnable. I think that does happen. Josh doesn't. I don't even think Josh thinks that's winnable. You have the Jets game. That's one of my 2 upsets of the season. I don't think they can beat the Panthers, so I'm not counting that as an upset. They could be favored against the Panthers. They could. I don't care what they. I don't care what the odds say. I don't care if they're gonna be favored against the Panthers. I don't care. I don't think I think it's a winnable game. I don't think they will win it. I think the Panthers are a stronger team. We're gonna get to the Panthers. I've said many times the NFC South is very interesting. The Saints, Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, 4 of the most interesting teams in the NFL. We'll get to that once we get to the NFC South. But then you have the other winnable game. You have the Dolphins, winnable. I don't think it's gonna happen. The Jaguars and Raiders, winnable. I think they win that. Those are 2 of the winnable ones. Then you have so that's 3 of them. And then you have the Broncos, winnable, off the bye. I don't think it's going to happen. You have the Bills. I don't think it's a winnable game. The Patriots, week 13 in LA. I don't think it's going to happen. It's winnable, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's plain and simple. And then you go to the Falcons in week 14, winnable, and I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to be the Falcons week 14. Week 15, one of my 2 upsets. I have the Raiders beating the Chargers. In week 6, it was the Jets beating the Chargers. In week 15, it'll be the Raiders. Those are my 2 upsets. Week 16, again, winnable against the Broncos. I don't think it's going to happen. You have 12 winnable games. I think you can win. Well, counting the 2 upsets, I think you could win 6 of them. 6 out of 12. Half of your winnable games. Not counting the upsets, because I don't think you're going to win the upsets, because they're upsets. The Jets and Chargers. That will be, the winnable amount of games will be, still be 12. 12 winnable games, 4 wins. And I don't think I'm crazy. Because those, and this is the problem with the Chargers last year, though. I'll tell you this. The Chargers had almost all of their games last season were less than 10-point losses or wins. That's the problem. They're winnable, but I don't think it's going to happen. They're winnable. This game's winnable. I don't think it's going to happen.
9 of their 11 losses last year were against teams that were losing. And you know why they lost most of those games?
Because of Phillip Rivers, I understand.
Right. Interceptions at the end.
Josh, first off, Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is extremely inconsistent.
Okay.
He was the most inconsistent quarterback in the draft. It's not up for debate. I mean, you look at Justin Herbert in Oregon. Like, you think, like, the guy, he's super talented. He has pretty good arm strength. He is really good at arm strength, really good athleticism. He's like Josh Allen, also inconsistent, by the way. But then you have, like, a really good game. You have week 1 against Auburn. They're winning. They lose it. And yes, it has to do with the defense. But that also has got to do with Herbert. Herbert loses it. Herbert's not a second-half guy. He's like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is extremely good in the first 3 quarters, and he does nothing in the 4th quarter. I'll give you an example. The first game against the Clippers. Josh, remember that first game against the Clippers? You know Anthony Davis scored 32 points in the first 3 quarters, Josh. 32 points.
Right.
And in the last quarter, he scored 2. And LeBron won the game at the end. Then you take during the season against the Clippers, Anthony Davis, it was like 0-2-0-2-2. Like I think it was 0-2-0-2. Like seriously.
Whatever.
All right, but we're talking about the NFL here. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, is inconsistent. The Chargers have winnable games that they won't win. It's plain and simple. And that is the only reason why I'm low on the Chargers.
I think that's fair. I think that's a good reason.
Did you listen to anything
I just disagree with you. Yeah, I did.
All right.
I
winnable game, and
I disagree, but I think your reasoning is fair. It's just agree to disagree, I think.
I think but they're, in my opinion. But now I want to talk about the Chargers as a team, not about their schedule. The Chargers as a team.
One of the best teams in the NFL on paper.
Right. The defense, you have Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, Jerry Tillery. Don't throw me there.
Hold on. You said Jerry Tillery before you said Derwin James, before you said Casey Hayward, before you said Chris Harris Jr.
I was just doing front 7 first, by the way.
Okay. No, I thought we were talking about
front 7. And then you know who they got this year, Josh? Guy by the name of Kenneth Murray. He's pretty good.
We both love.
Right. And then you go to the secondary. God, where did I start? Derwin James.
Maybe the best secondary in the league.
Possibly, they're up there. Derwin James, Chris Harris Jr., Casey Hayward. You had Nazir Adderley,
Who's not that good.
who is pretty good in his rookie year last year.
He's all right. He's all right. He's an all right player.
I think he's pretty good.
He's a starter.
All right, now I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. Maybe the most talked about team in the show. We all know, spoiler alert, I think Drew Lock's winning MVP.
Right.
And there's a couple of stuff I have the Broncos winning, awards-wise, and also in the stat leaders, I have the Broncos there twice. Although I could tell you right now, one of those is tight ends. One of those is tight ends. Okay. Anyway, in terms of winnable games, I'm gonna say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 winnable games as well. But I say out of those 12, the Broncos
win more.
All of them except for one. They win 11.
So why do you think that? Why do you think Denver's? What is it about Denver that sells you on them?
A couple things. Starting with, I'm a big fan of Vic Fangio. I just generally like.
Well, I mean, the defense, of course. Yes.
You have Von Miller, who I don't care. Von Miller doesn't fill up the stat sheet necessarily in Vic Fangio's system. It's a fact. He doesn't fill up the stat sheet. It's true. It's not something we're hiding. He has not been racking up the stats. So there's a reason for that. He still, in my opinion, makes the biggest defensive impact on the team, and it's not close. He's the best defensive player.
Of course.
Right. And then you go down the secondary. They did lose Chris Harris Jr. They have AJ Boye, who does not even compare with Chris Harris Jr. And then their first round pick this year was Jerry Jeudy. Vic Fangio is one of the few coaches in the NFL that I think, if you have a bottom half defense, can be a top 10 defense. If anybody could do it,
an elite defense, though.
If anybody can do it, what?
They have an elite defense, Michael.
No, they don't.
Well, not elite. No, sorry, they have a top 10 defense, probably.
No.
Wait, you don't? Of all people, you don't think so?
I think it will be because, again...
You don't think Von Miller and Bradley Chubb coming off the edge. You don't think having Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, AJ Boye in the secondary, you don't think that is a borderline top 10, like number 8, 9, 10, 11, like range secondary?
Maybe 11. Top half of the league.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think they're right around there. Well, secondary-wise, it's not around there, but...
No, their secondary is filled with just every single player in that secondary is just crazy underrated. I actually am a huge fan of the Broncos secondary. I think it's maybe the most underrated secondary.
I'm going to ask you this, Josh. What position?
I would think the Broncos secondary of the Dolphins secondary.
What position is Kareem Jackson?
Kareem Jackson's a safety, but he also is a corner as well. He can be both.
Dang it. I know, he was a corner for Texans. He's a safety now. I wanted to get you with that because I wanted to mix you up.
No, because...
It's not... word of advice...
I would think the Broncos secondary over the Dolphins secondary.
If you want to mix up Josh, don't make it about sports. Don't make it about football.
Facts.
Yeah. Probably me too, but Josh...
Make it about science. Make it about science or anything school.
Yeah.
That'll get me mixed up. But football, basketball, no chance.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Because we've been talking about the AFC West for a while. We are an hour 19 in, and we haven't even gotten to the NFC yet.
All right, well, let's go to the NFC. We have the NFC North. We have...
Actually, hold on. You go through your overall standings here on the... oh, God, we need to go through that first. Okay. Now we don't need to go team by team. We just go through, seeds for the AFC.
All right, let's go.
So, let's just go... you go first. You just go... you can either go 16 through 1 or 1 through 16. Whatever you want. 16.
Let's both go 16 through 1. All right. Yeah. My 16 seed going 2-14, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, just keep going. We run through it because we already went through it. No, I mean, you should go 16, 16, 15, 15. No, because we already ran through it and it'll take more time. Just go. Okay. At 15, I have the New York Jets 2-14. At 14, Raiders 3-3. 13. 13 Chargers 4 and 12. At 12 I have the Texans 5 and 11. At 11 I have the Bengals 5 and 11.
By the way,
At
no,
10
but stop it. Stop at 10. Stop at 10.
all right. At should I do 10?
No.
All right. Josh 16 through 11.
16 I have the Jags at 1 and 15. Raiders 2 and 14. Jets 4 and 12. Bengals 5 and 11. Dolphins 7 and 9. Texans 8 and 8.
All right. Now we're going to go 10 through 8 and then we'll do playoffs. Then we're going to go wild card, then division. Already 10 through 8. At 10, 7 and 9, Patriots. 9, 9 and 7, Titans. 8, 9 and 7, Steelers.
Okay. My 10 are the Broncos at 10 and 10. Patriots 10 at 10 and 10. 8 and 8. 9 are the Patriots at 8 and 8. 8. And I said to remember the tiebreaker because I'm going to do this package here, Michael. Just okay. Because the Browns and Steelers, both, they're 7 and 8. They're both 9 and 7. The Steelers got them in the division, and they get them on the same tiebreaker in the playoffs because of the common opponent's tiebreaker, which, for those that don't know, is the fourth tiebreaker, meaning that they were split on the first 3 tiebreakers. They were tied. So on the fourth tiebreaker, the final playoff spot in the division, Steelers get it over the Browns at 9 and 7 each. So that is very close. Now you go.
All right, Josh, just give us your wild card. By the way, reminder, 7 seeds in this year's playoffs.
Right, very true. So yes, the Steelers, they get in at 9 and 7 thanks to that tiebreaker. The Chargers are my
thanks to that extra seed.
Yeah. The Chargers are my 6 seed at 9 and 7. The Colts are my 5 seed at 10 and 6. And there you go. Because then we go division winners.
All right. My 7th seed, the Buffalo Bills at 10 and 6.
Wow. 7.
My 6th seed, the Cleveland Browns at 10 and 6. The conference record, the Browns have a tiebreaker over the Bills. Conference record, the Browns go 8 and 4, Bills go 7 and 5. My 5 seed is the Broncos at 11 and 5. By the way, conference record for the Broncos, 10 and 2.
All right, divisional records. AFC South champion Tennessee Titans, they are your 4 seed at 10 and 6. Bills 11 and 5, they're your 3 seed. Chiefs 2 seed at 13 and 3. The Ravens get the only first round bye now at 13 and 3.
That's right, with the 7 seed, with the 7 seeds, it's now the only the first team gets the bye. All right. My number 4 seed, the winner of the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins at 10 and 6. My number 3 seed, the winner of the AFC South at 11 and 5, the Indianapolis Colts. My 2 seed at 13 and 3, the winner of the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs. And my 1 seed at 16 and 0, the winner of the AFC North.
Just sounds so weird. I don't even I know we already talked about it. It just sounds so weird for you to refer to anybody in a predictions and go with 16 and 0.
Yep, 16 and 0, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the NFC.
All right.
So, the same thing. Hopefully, we'll be done this by 11. And then we have a whole other string to do with our awards.
Well, no, we're going to be done by 11.
Well, it took us an hour 23 to get through the AFC. It's 9:48 right now.
I think we could do this in an hour.
Let's find out. But let's do good announcement here. All right.
All right,
Let's
NFC
go.
North. Can I start now? Because I let you start all the time. So, all right.
Yeah.
For the NFC, I start. Coming in 4th in the NFC North, Detroit Lions at 13
I'm about to say,
and
don't
3.
screw this up.
We have a 2 and 4 divisional record, 2 and 10 conference record, 0 and 7 versus winning, 3 and 6 versus losing.
So you have them going 3 and 13. Detroit.
Yes. The wins I have week
3
6 over Jacksonville, week 13 over Chicago, and week 17 over Minnesota.
All right, I have them going 3 and 13. They win against Chicago in week 1, Jacksonville in week 6, and then week 10 against the football team. So 1-5 in the division, 2 and 10 in the conference, 0 and 7 against winning teams, 3 and 6 against losing teams. Detroit, they just have nothing going for them, and I have them actually having the number 3 pick in this year's draft once again. for the second straight year.
In this year's draft, I have Detroit. They're my number 4 pick.
By the way, I'll just tell you my top 3: Jacksonville first overall, then the Raiders, then the Lions.
Yeah, we have not revealed all the members of my top 3.
Okay, but that was why I waited. So don't then wait for you because you can.
Do you want to after just go 1 through 32?
No, because that's just insane.
Okay. 3 seed, the third team in the NFC North, the Chicago Bears, going 4-12.
Bears.
4-12.
Wow.
2-4 in the division, 3-9 in the conference, 1-5 versus winning teams, 3-7 versus losing teams. I have them beating the Jaguars in week 16, Packers in week 17, the Lions in week 1, and then that would leave us to the Giants in week 2.
Yes, I do start 2-0 for you.
They do start 2-0 for me, and then they don't. Then after that, they go 2-12.
I also have the Bears, but I have them going 6-10.
Yeah, that's probably a better prediction.
I have them here 2-4 in the NFC North, 4-8 in the NFC, 1-5 against teams with a winning record, 5-5 against a losing record. I just think they're all around like just mediocre, you know.
Right.
Just the team screams mediocrity. That to me is what the Bears are.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Second place in the NFC North.
All right, second place in the NFC North got going 6-10 with a 3-3 divisional record. 2-6.
Wait, this is your second place, 6-10.
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, what?
You have this team finishing second in the division at 6-10.
Yes.
Wow. Go ahead.
Marco doesn't like a 4-12. With 6-10, 3-3 division, 4-8 conference, 2-6 versus winning, 4-4 versus losing. That is the Minnesota Vikings, who I can tell you lose to the Lions, lose to the Jaguars, lose to the Panthers,
Whoa.
lose to the Falcons all during the season.
I have the Vikings as my second place team. They're 8-8 for me. 4-2 in the division, 6-6 in the NFC, 2-6 against winning, 6-2 against losing.
Hold on.
Winning,
Go back.
I'll tell you the 2 winning teams that they beat are the.
Oh, hold on. Dang it, it's not loading. It's not loading. It's not good. Screenshot quickly, so I don't forget it.
What are you doing? Computer about to crash?
Maybe. I only have 2 tabs open on my whole computer.
Did you get everything though? Did you get like the pictures just in case?
For this not to happen. No, it's like loading.
So how much of the standings do you have right now?
Dang it. I have the standings. Continue. I just don't have like.
You're fine.
I cannot tell you though, like versus.
Okay, that's okay. But the Vikings at 8-8, I have, and I think that's just again a team that is good, not
perfect.
great. I think they. Oh, you good now?
No.
The look of disappointment on Michael's face right there.
It reset to the
The thing where it's like you have the teams you have doing bad being really good.
Oh my god.
Hit the backspace.
Bengals are the 5 seed.
Hit the backseat. Hit the backspace.
Here. Backspace.
Just go back, yeah.
Rams have the Packers and Chiefs have the 2nd and 3rd overall pick.
Just did it work? Did it work?
It's loading.
Okay, whatever. In the meantime, I'll talk here about the Vikings. I think it's just a mediocre team. Mediocre. That's my issue with them.
Inconsistent.
Yeah. I like Kirk Cousins. Again, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. I think that it's a very false narrative about him. I think he's big time game, but I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. A lot better.
Yeah, I think you can say that. I think it's fair to say. Well, Super Bowl stayed the same.
He won a playoff game last year.
He
proved me a lot of people wrong last year. All right, who's your division winner? Well, obviously we know who it is, the Packers, because they're the only team left. But you have their record being?
The Packers, they go 12-4, including 5-1 in the division.
Wow. All right. Well, I have them going 11-5.
This did not work.
It's all right, Michael. It's fine. We can just go. We're gonna go through like records and stuff. But you have them going 12-4. I'm going 11-5. All right. That's All right. So why Green Bay? But like let's talk about the Packers here. I mean, they're obviously the favorite in the NFC North. They are, to me. I think they're going to easily win the division. You have them winning it by even easier. So
By the way, I
here's-
have I have my playoff bracket, and I have the draft order too.
but we all right, whatever. So Green Bay, they're the clear favorites of the NFC North. You have them winning the division even easier. I think. I mean, you don't think the division's as good as I do, but even, not that I think they're that good. But okay. I mean, there's not really much to talk about the Packers. We've talked about the Packers a lot on the show, and I think it's a pretty easy race for them. So let's move on to the NFC South, because that is a great division.
The NFC South.
And
Josh,
real talking points.
Yep, here we go. In my opinion, and I said this while I was with the Chargers, while you were gone. I said this. I think when you look at the NFC South and you look at the Falcons, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Saints, in my opinion, those four teams are four of the most interesting, unique, capable, and also possible bust. I don't know. They're, in my opinion,
actually, I could not agree with you more right there.
Four of the most interesting teams in all of football. And that is why, by the way, Josh, that is why originally I said they're the best division in football, but then I changed it to West. But that is why, because they are four of the most interesting teams in all of football. My four seed,
definitely the most interesting division in football.
Right. Fourth for me, I have the Atlanta Falcons.
What? You have the Falcons being worse than the Panthers?
Yes. Remember when I hyped up the Panthers and said they could be a playoff team? Like, do you not remember that?
Yeah, but I didn't think you actually. But like, you haven't really talked praise about the Panthers like very much.
But,
what did it once?
That we posted, so I want to know huge rant on them. Well, that's more than you and Luke have talked about the Panthers on our show.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I thought they'd be any good. I think they're a bad football team this year.
I want to talk about the Falcons. I want to talk about the Falcons. Here is my.
Hold on. Before we talk about the Falcons, because I don't have them in last. Hold on. Let's put it this way: you have the Panthers in third, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can kind of talk about both of them. So where do you have the Panthers being?
I have the Panthers going 7-9.
Okay, I have the Panthers at 5-11, and the Falcons at 8-8. What's the Falcons' record for you?
5-11.
And then what's the Panthers' record?
7-9.
Okay, I'm about to say it's the same thing, but now it's one less. Okay, now go ahead. Now you can talk about the Falcons.
Well, all right, Falcons schedule. Yeah, look. I'll say this: the Falcons, seriously, they, in my opinion, them or the Raiders, are maybe have the toughest schedule in the NFL. You're talking about the Seahawks and Cowboys in the first 2 weeks. In the week 4, you have the Packers in Green Bay Monday Night Football. You have the Broncos coming off a bye, which are dangerous coming off a bye. You have the Saints. Twice you have to play them. You have to play the Buccaneers twice.
Right.
And then you have to play the Chiefs as well.
Right.
I mean, literally, look at this. This
is brutal.
The brutal schedule. Weeks 11 through, they have the bye week 10. After their bye weeks 11 through 17, you have the Saints in New Orleans in the first game. Then you have the Raiders. You'll win that in week 12. Then you have the Saints in Atlanta, week 13. Then you have the Chargers in LA. Then you have the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, and the Buccaneers.
That is insane.
I mean, this schedule is extremely tough. It is one of the toughest schedules in the NFL.
I have it being the second toughest.
Right, I think it's second toughest. It's that in Vegas. I don't think there's really another team that
Vegas is the only team I haven't covered. Yeah.
I think the Giants have a pretty tough schedule, but like, mean-
That is true. Actually, I have the Giants in the toughest schedule in the league. Look at that.
Really?
By .001.
Here's the thing though about the Falcons. The Falcons. Let's talk about the Falcons. Like as a team, you have
Okay.
obviously Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Then you have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, one of the greatest, one of the best receiving duos in the NFL without a doubt. I
Yeah,
love the way Hayden Hurst fits in Atlanta.
me too.
I think with his athleticism, with his receiving, with his blocking, with that mix, I think he might even be fitting better than Austin Hooper.
In that system, I actually agree.
Then
That's a
the
bold
O-line.
take, but I
You
agree
have
with you.
Jake Matthews, you have Alex Mack, you have a pretty good O-line.
Their defense isn't very good, though.
Hold on. The running backs. You have Todd
Not much.
Gurley.
Other than Gurley, they don't really have much, though. And you need another back with Gurley, because Gurley cannot give you a bunch of carries anymore.
Top 10 running back. I think Ito Smith is a very capable backup.
But no, Michael, you can't have a guy with, like, over 300 carries. You just can't.
Josh.
He can't be the bell cow. You can't have a running back with that many carries. It just is not sustainable. You
Who
don't
is
have
the Giants backup?
Well, I think Saquon's a lot better than Gurley.
I thought you can't have a running back with 300 carries.
There are very few, but there are exceptions. But hey, we saw what happened to Saquon last year. He got hurt.
Josh Jacobs. You think Jacobs is better than Gurley? Who's the Raiders backup? They don't have one.
It's fair.
They don't have.
They do have DeAndre Washington who gets a couple carries.
No, actually,
he's not-
DeAndre
he's-
Washington. Hold on, DeAndre Washington's
No,
in
he's on the
Kansas
team.
City now.
He's gone.
He's in
Yeah.
Kansas City now.
They have another guy though. I do vividly remember them signing another guy though. Yeah, Devontae Booker, who I like, and they drafted Len Bowden, and they have Jalen Richard.
Lynn Bowden, who I don't think can last.
They have Jalen Richard. He's not horrible.
He's not horrible. Booker hasn't been good in a while. He was good at
Yeah.
Utah. He was good for his first
Yeah.
two seasons.
All right. No, it's fair. That's a fair point. But you know what? I don't think Josh Jacobs is. But I also don't think the Raiders are going to be very good.
Well, what's the difference between the running back situation in the Falcons and the running back situation in the Raiders? I would take the
It's
Falcons.
not. I think they're both in trouble. I think, but the only difference is
Gosh,
Gurley.
one more thing, 300 carries. Again, may I remind you that you have one of the best receiving corps in the NFL?
Great point. That's actually a really good point. Okay, I'll take it back. That's a good point.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, but an extremely tough schedule, which is the good defense. I mean, Deion Jones, Josh, you're obsessed with Grady Jarrett. I don't know why. He'd be on your all Josh team.
He would. Oh, he definitely would be.
Deion Jones, Vic Beasley is now in Tennessee, or maybe he's not in Tennessee. Maybe he's in
Kind of
Texas
overrated.
or in somewhere around the world. Actually, no, he came back to Tennessee, so never mind. But
That was a weird saga what happened with Vic Beasley.
you have Neil, Isaiah Oliver, AJ Terrell,
Yeah, that's not a good. That's one of the worst defenses in the league.
Marlon Davidson they got out of Auburn.
This is one of the worst defenses in the league, Michael.
Oh,
Don't
they
disagree.
have Isaiah Oliver.
Congratulations. They still have one of the worst defenses in the league.
Oh,
They
they
don't
signed Darqueze Denard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta, they don't know what they got supposed to do with him. He is not good. But
Shout out to Carey Price, who is like one of my favorite players in the NHL now for beating the Penguins, who just made an absolutely insane save on Scott Lofton, I think.
anyway, but Atlanta, I mean that defense you put up.
Their
is
schedule,
horrible.
their
That's one of the
schedule.
worst defenses in the league. In fact, I forgot how bad that defense is. That is very, very bad. Especially considering Dan Quinn is a defensive head coach. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, I really forgot how bad that defense is. Do I have them winning against Carolina? I mean, do I have them sweeping Carolina? Because they do. I might give. No, I'm splitting. I'm about to say I might give Carolina a win here, and if I don't already, but they already do, so never mind. But man, I mean, that's horrible. Okay.
All right. Well,
And now I think we can move on to the
Josh.
top two now.
What about the Panthers?
Panthers. If you want to talk about the Panthers, you can talk about the Panthers. I don't really have much thoughts on them.
Okay. I might as well play the video. No, I won't. But I think the Panthers could be a playoff team.
But do you
I've said it
really
before.
still believe that?
I don't have them in my playoffs.
But do
But I
you
think
still
they're
believe that they have
capable.
that ceiling?
I do. I think they're capable.
Why?
I'll tell you what.
Tell me
I
that.
think they are capable for a couple of reasons. I want to listen back to what I said before.
No, tell me right now.
But why? Why?
No, why right now? Right now, why do you think they're? Tell me right now why you think. Not why you used to. Why do you think still right now?
All right. Undisputed, the best running back in the NFL.
Fair enough.
Undisputed, the best rushing running back in the NFL.
And receiving, yes.
Undisputed, the best receiving running back in the NFL.
Yes. Just give me something other than Christian McCaffrey.
Teddy Bridgewater, who, Josh, he can't stay healthy. I don't care because since he has been healthy, which has been 2 years, in those 2 years, he's done what? He's backed up Drew Brees. He has played how many games, Josh? 5. Played only 5 games. Now, those are the only 5 games
He's the good
you can take
quarterback.
him from. Hold on. Those are the only 5 games you can take him from. What do you do in those 5
And
games?
he won them all. I'm not doubting Bridgewater either.
Won all 5 games.
I'm not doubting Bridgewater.
Including the Rams when you thought they were still the Super Bowl contenders.
Here's my thing, though.
Hold on. Including the Cowboys and Sunday Night
Let's look at their defense. Look at their defense.
Hold on. I'm getting there. Their defense is unexperienced, which is why, Josh, they're not a playoff team. They're good, but unexperienced, which is why they're not a playoff team, but they're a borderline playoff team.
Fair enough.
Jeremy Chin, their draft was incredible. They got the safety that went to West Virginia, played in the XFL. Kenny Robinson.
Brown.
Hold on, I'll get there. I'm just doing secondary now. Jeremy Chin, who is insane. I love Jeremy Chin. We all know how much I love Jeremy Chin. Then you have Derek Brown, who is the most dominant interior defensive lineman I think we've seen in the draft since Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
What was he? Was he the that go to college? Did we say that at college? No, I don't even think we said about Aaron Donald in college. God. I can't remember anyone out of college who just said this guy's it. This guy is the clearly best defensive tackle in the NFL. I mean, in the draft. I don't think we've seen it. I haven't heard it. Yetur Gross-Matos, linebacker from Penn State. They added him, remember? Yeah. They did do that. So yeah, look, I think they could do well. I do. But their defense is unexperienced. They're good, but their defense is inexperienced, which is why they are not making the playoffs, but they will come close to the playoffs. Josh is gone, so we'll wait for him to come back in. We're gonna move on now to the top 2 teams, which are the hold on, guys. The Buccaneers and the Saints. Josh is Josh, you're on the air.
All right. I don't know what the hell just happened, but I just shut down. Is the audio good? Like, can I be heard, or how is it? I'm currently trying to figure out how to get back on.
Can Josh be heard? Do you want me to just send you the link on your phone?
I
think you.
Yeah, not yet, because I'm trying to reach next thing. It'll just work here.
Here, I'll do it anyway to see if it doesn't work, just to be safe.
Okay. Anyway, we keep talking here.
All right, yeah, let's talk about. You know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to
That's all. Okay, hold on. I might be able to come back in here. Hold on. I might be able to come back on. Come on, StreamYard. You need to load. Come on, StreamYard. Oh God, nothing's loading now. But I do remember the record I have. I have the Bucks at 10-6 and the Saints at 12-4.
I have the I have the Bucks at 12-4, the Saints at 14-2.
Okay.
Hold on, Josh. I'm sending you the link. Talk about the Bucks here. I think Ronald Jones will have a breakout year.
I know.
As we all know, probably gonna lose $50 though. But all right. So Josh will be joining us on StreamYard, which is good. Oh, if you guys, there we go. You guys can hear me now. Perfect. All right. Let's have the Bucks. We have the Buccaneers. We have the Falcons. Here is Josh.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You are okay. You're good. We can hear you.
All right, perfect. I remember my NFC East predictions because it's like weirdly like similar. So, but the NFC West, I don't remember exactly what I have. So I'm hoping
Josh, you should set your set your phone across. Don't like move it around. Set your phone across.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. All right, there we go. Oh god, my phone's low battery. I mean, it's good enough now, but my phone's pretty low battery. I'm gonna put this here. There we go. Hi guys.
All right.
You put them
So
on.
Josh got his technical issues figured out. I think the Bucks schedule is also pretty hard. You have the Saints, Panthers, Broncos, Chargers, Bears, Packers, Raiders, Giants, Saints, Panthers, Rams, Chiefs, Vikings, Falcons, Lions, Falcons.
I'm just gonna shut down my computer and start again.
By the way, I'm gonna make a bold take. That Week 12 game against the Chiefs, which I completely forgot whether or not I had them winning or not. I did. I'm beating the Chiefs week 12.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
Let's hear it.
That will be the game where Ronald Jones will have over 150 scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns. If it'll happen,
I think that's a good game to do it.
I think that will be the game. Fun fact to add on, that's the game where you did it in Madden, Josh.
But I think if there's a game that happened, I think Kansas City definitely would be the best bet.
Yeah, I gotta go with Kansas City for that. All right, but Josh, let's talk about the Bucs here. The Buccaneers have, in our opinions, the best receiving duo in the NFL. We thought the Bucs way too much.
Yeah, we do. Well, everyone does.
Yeah, but you know, Tom Brady. Yeah, remember him? Yeah, he's on there now. Their defense is they have a easily top 10 front seven. You can make the case a top 5 front seven.
You can make the case top 10.
As a matter of fact, I will make the case they're a top 5 front seven.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on, we've already done this. We've done this a lot.
All right, let's move on to the Saints.
12.
Drew Brees quarterbacking. I'm going 14-2.
I think this might be, and correct me if you disagree here, but I think this is the safest bet in the entire NFL to make the playoffs. I think this of any team in the entire NFL, I think this is the one that I think would be the
really
most miss.
I think the biggest one to be the most shocked to miss is the Chiefs.
Well, I think I'll tell you why I said the Saints though, because if let's say Mahomes gets injured.
Let's say Brees gets hurt.
Well, let's take away Lamar Jackson from the Ravens. Let's take away Patrick Mahomes from the Chiefs. Take away Drew Brees from the Saints. I think the Saints are the best overall roster out of those three.
No, over the Ravens. But hold on, and then we talk. Who's the more capable?
Without Lamar Jackson, yes.
Who's the more? I think RG3 is the best backup. I think he's better than Chad Henne, Taysom Hill. I take RG3.
Matt Moore. First of all, Matt Moore.
First off, Matt Moore retired.
And Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Jameis Winston. Didn't Matt Moore retire? Didn't Matt Moore retire?
Well, let's talk about. Well, hold on.
Matt Moore. I don't think he's in the Chiefs, but first off, yeah, you're right. Jameis Winston, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, as we all know. According to him.
Yeah.
And I see where he's coming from, but
we went over that already. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. I completely forgot Jameis Winston was the Saints now. So yeah, I guess the Saints, I don't know the more capable quarterback would be Jameis Winston, but I don't think more talented roster. I'll say this. If the Saints have to go without Drew Brees, they make the playoffs.
Right. That's why I said it. That's why I said what I said. Knowing that. God damn it. Come on. I'm playing the dinosaur game. But this is stupid.
Watch your language, sir.
Sorry.
No.
Connection failed. That's why. And I'm already on 10%. Oh no. Okay. That's unfortunate. Oh no. All right.
Series of unfortunate events going on in Josh's beach
Seriously, though.
life. Well, we all have those days. I have them usually like once a month.
Come on.
I'm good today.
Why is it not working? I don't know what the password is. It's the beach house.
No, so I'm not showing my predictions because they all are gone. So now everything says 0-0-0. But here is the Buccaneers
Okay, you know what? Let's go to the NFC East and
schedule.
hold on. I might be able to fix this here. Can you guys still hear me?
I don't. Yes, we do. So
I might be able because it's on Chrome. I go on Chrome because I have it saved. Hold on. I might be able to just make. I might have just made a really clutch thing right here. But am I like frozen or how's this working? Like, what do you guys see right now?
your screen is black.
Just black.
Just black.
That's weird. Okay.
So I'm taking you.
Well-
I'm taking you off, and I'm not. I'm here. I'm keeping you
No,
on. I'm
just-
just right.
Can I turn? Hold on. I'm gonna go back here. I'm trying to turn my camera off. Let me do that. I'm gonna get back right now. Okay. And hold on. Camera. Perfect. Okay. Now I can do it. Now does it work like that?
Yeah, you can just see your gray avatar or with a
The
white.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, so Marco, I did not say that I think RG3 over Jameis Winston. I did say that I think RG3 is capable, but no, I would take Jameis Winston. Josh, can you hear me, by the way?
I think I might have just figured this out though. I
Is
might have.
Josh
Hold on. I might have just did something.
Dame
real clutch.
Lillard? You know what?
I
I'm
might
gonna go
have
Kevin Holland. Is this the dagger? Rating? We're rating? Taking a lot of
Do
bounces.
the bounces again because by the time you finish doing it, it'll work. I mean, or not
Is
work.
this the dagger?
No, I don't think it is.
No, we're going into overtime. I didn't think I would have gone into overtime. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Look, let's move on now to the East. We have the Cowboys, Giants, football team, Eagles.
Right. Okay. So I don't remember who I had technically ahead of them, but I had the Giants, the football team, each at 4-12.
All right, I'm super mad at myself because I've been hyping up the Giants so much. You know
When?
that I've been hyping up the Giants.
No, you haven't.
I'm saying for the future. For the future. I said they're going to be a playoff team in 2 years. Remember I said that?
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, what are you talking about?
And yet I have them going 2-14.
Well, you said the future, so yeah, that would mean not
No,
right
but
now.
2-14 for the Giants. They're not bad.
Yeah, they are. They're horrible. I think that's a good prediction. I think that's a good, solid prediction. 2-14 for the Giants. It's not bad at all.
They have Saquon, Daniel Jones.
They have Saquon. That's it. That's all.
Daniel Jones.
It
Pretty good draft.
doesn't matter. They're not any good.
Pretty good off season.
Plus a brutal schedule. Brutal schedule.
Yeah, and then I have the football team going 3-13.
Okay. I think both teams are bad. I think both teams have to get things going here. I think they're both horrible teams, though. I just
They're not good. Although I'll say this, it's better than me having them going 10-6.
Can you get on the internet? Can you get on? Dad, here, put me on mute or something. Can you get on the internet?
All right, give me a sec. All right. Here, actually, I'm gonna keep him on mute because I'm not sure when he's gonna unmute. But yeah, better. I had him going 10-6 last year.
I'm back.
Obviously, I was wrong. Hey, Josh.
I'm back.
I had him going 10-6 last year. I obviously was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get on the internet. All right. Hold on. So, okay, Giants football team. They're both bad. But yeah, let's move on here to the Cowboys and Eagles.
The Redskins. Hold on, I want to talk about the Redskins football team. I want to talk about the
Football
football team
team.
here. They have a top 5 defensive line in the NBA.
NFL. It's been a long
I
night.
got an NBA notification saying the Heat and Thunder are close with time winding down, which is why I said NBA. No, they have top 5 defensive line in the NFL.
And what else? That doesn't matter. They're still not a good team.
They have 10-6 potential.
No, they don't.
Their ceiling is, I think. What's their ceiling?
6 wins.
I'd say
Yeah, the ceiling's 6 and 10.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, six wins. I think is their ceiling. Wow, they also have a pretty tough schedule. Look at this.
I'm amazed. I'm very proud of myself right now. I just remembered exactly what my NFC West predictions were.
Hold on. Look at their schedule. God. Eagles, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, Rams, Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, Bengals, Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, Seahawks, Panthers, Eagles.
Okay.
That's a tough schedule.
Let's keep moving here. Let's keep moving.
All
I
right.
want to get moving.
Josh, you're
by the way,
2
I think
seed.
we should. Actually, no, we don't. Let's keep moving. Okay. In the division, I have the Cowboys and the Eagles both finishing 10-6 once again. So, who wins the division? The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. They split it. The next tiebreaker, divisional record.
By the way, I'm just saying
There.
it's not close for me.
Okay. The next one is divisional record. The Eagles go 4-2 in the division. The Cowboys go 3-3. And the Eagles take the division via tiebreaker. And I shocked myself when I saw it. I looked at it and I'm like, no way. There is no. Josh, you messed up there. So I look at it. I'm like, no, I can't change anything for the Eagles. I look at the Cowboys. I can't change anything for the Cowboys either. So I had to stick with it. And even though I think the Cowboys are a better team, I think the Cowboys are a better team. I do.
Josh. Listen.
Cowboys are a better team, but I have the Eagles taking the division.
Do you remember? Let's flip the timeline. Let's flip the script to a couple of months ago when Brandon Brooks was injured. You go, I think the Cowboys will win the division, but I think they just opened it up.
I do. I think I did say that, and I meant it. That's why I was so shocked when I did.
Well, clearly they didn't open it up. What changed your mind? What was that trigger?
I didn't realize what their schedule was. That's what changed my mind.
How is their schedule much harder than the?
It's not. It's just the games.
Look, here's the Cowboys. Here's the Cowboys scheduled: Rams, Cowboys, Seahawks. Sorry, Rams, Falcons.
We don't need to go through. We don't need to go through like this. I'm just saying, like.
Here, I'll give the tough matchups. Seahawks.
I don't trust
Browns
Dak in big moments. As good, I don't think Dak is bad.
Well, I don't trust Wentz in huge moments.
I do.
Well, how? Basically,
because when he's healthy, he's been able to deliver.
In big moments, huh? In big moments.
When he's healthy, he's delivered. Yes.
Yes. Playoff wins for Wentz.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about
playoff appearances.
Big wins in the regular season to put his team into the playoffs.
Right.
Like against Dallas last season, where he delivered with a bad
against
team
the
and
Cowboys every year on the national spotlight on Sunday Night Football, where almost every time the Cowboys win.
Did you not hear what I just said though?
Or that was one game.
Yeah, but that was the biggest game of their season.
4 for Dak, and saying one thing, I just named 4 for Dak.
How about his game against Minnesota last year on Sunday Night Football?
By his game against Minnesota.
Sunday Night Football, under the lights, Minnesota. He lost.
Oh, Dak.
Yeah.
Hey, I called that game.
That was a bad loss for him too.
Yeah, he played horrible in the Buffalo game.
That was Dak's worst game.
One of
the worst games Dak's ever played.
I think the Buffalo game is worse.
Okay, that game. Well, that's another great example. Under the bright lights in a big game.
Thanksgiving too.
But you're proving my point here.
Sorry. But
what do you mean sorry? You're helping me out here. I'm thank you.
I called the Vikings game and the Bills game. I can tell you that
Michael,
Dak was not as bad as the stats showed in the Vikings game. I don't think he was that bad in the Vikings game. He was terrible.
Yeah, he was okay. He was.
No, I watched the full game. I did the full game. I thought he was fine.
I watched it. I don't think he was fine.
All right.
I think
well,
he missed on some really bad throws.
Also, Dak is under the spotlight more.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I'm not talking about primetime spotlight. I'm talking about in moments where he is in a must-win situation. He has not done it, and Wentz has. That's a factual statement, and that's what it came down to for me, and that's why I had it happening the way I had it happening.
Well, okay, so you have the Dak versus Wentz debate. Josh, in terms of for a team, you think that Wentz would lead a team better, and I probably, but which is interesting because you literally said that Dak could do better on more teams than Wentz. But
I did, but I
hold
think
on, one more. But as an individual quarterback, we can both agree Dak is better.
Right.
I'll say this: I have the Eagles going 8-8.
Okay.
And the Cowboys going 11-5.
That's really not that bad on either one. Even despite the fact that it's very different from mine, I don't really disagree with you because on
No,
paper,
I think you could do what you did too. I really
because
think
on paper that's around what I was thinking I was going to have Philly at. It's around where I was thinking I would have Dallas at, and that's why I was so shocked. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, all right, Philly's gonna be around 8-8. Dallas, like I thought it was gonna be right around there, and then I was done. Like, what? What did I do? Oh, that's what I did. I think that's actually fair. That's kind of what happened. My phone's at 2%, so I'm gonna run in here, get it. I can keep talking. I'm gonna stop my talk kind of like this. But you can still hear me, right? It's just a lot creepier. But you can hear me, right?
Whisper.
Okay, you don't have to whisper, Michael. No one's trying to hear you. But
Jamal Adams.
Stop it. Okay, I'm coming up here with a charger. Keep talking here, Michael. You can keep talking. Creeping out
Okay.
Just keep talking.
Sorry. No, look. The thing is, but then you look at besides the Dak, we've settled Dak and Wentz. But then look what's around Dak and Wentz. Oh, Wentz took a bad team to the playoffs last year. Wentz is even worse team with an even worse O-line.
I can't even agree with myself. Like I'm so shocked by my own prediction.
But with the Eagles, they got Jalen Reagor. He could help out Wentz. I know he can help out Wentz. The Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb to go with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. The O-line.
Michael,
hold on.
To Michael.
What?
I
understand, Josh. I get you. I'm saying right now why the Cowboys are better than the Eagles. Not why Dak is better than Wentz. The O-line. Oh, the Eagles have a better O-line. They did have a better O-line before Brandon Brooks got hurt. Now it's Zach Martin. It's Tyron Smith. I don't care. Travis Frederick retired. Good for him. Good for him. Travis Frederick retired. I thought it was similar to. I thought they were right there with him.
No, even with Brandon Brooks, I think Dallas is a better O-line.
Running backs. Miles Sanders is going to break out year. Sure, Miles Sanders is going to break out year. I'm sure he will have a breakout year. But will he be a top 5 running back by the end of the year? I don't think so. Is Zeke without a doubt a top 5 running back? I do think so.
Right.
Then you look at defense.
Okay.
What? Hold on, I'm comparing these two teams.
Talked about the Cowboys so many times.
No, not Cowboys versus Eagles.
Yeah, we have. Dak versus Wentz. Michael, we have this debate almost every single
Dak versus Wentz we did.
But it's
Cowboys Eagles.
Okay, whatever. Keep on. It's
well, no, you're saying it's close. I'm saying why it's not close. I'm giving every single position. I'm giving every single category.
But Michael, here's the counter.
Hold on. Except for quarterback efficiency when it matters most, I'll give Wentz that. Except for that, I am giving Dallas home field advantage. Hold on. Right. What's up?
What you are saying is 1,000% correct. But you know what else is 1,000% correct? That's been the case for years now, and yet Philly has still consistently finished better than them, even though what you just said is true right now and has been true for a couple of years now.
Hold on. Philly had a really good roster their Super Bowl year.
Yes, but Dallas still arguably had a better team.
I don't think so.
How about last year? Last year, Michael, you can't even argue this.
No. Of course, last year Dallas had a much better team. Yet what happened?
So that's the thing.
Well, first off, in my opinion, Dallas got better. Second off, I think Dak and Mike McCarthy. I love Mike McCarthy in Dallas. I love the idea of Mike McCarthy in Dallas. I've liked Mike McCarthy for a while. I mean, he has my initials, he has my name, but either way,
I've always been a low Mike McCarthy historically.
I've been a Mike McCarthy fan for a while.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He does seem like a guy you would like, and I don't think you're surprised that I don't like him. He seems like a guy I wouldn't like, doesn't he?
No. Yes, very much so. No, but and I think Jason Garrett, I think his role in New York as an offensive coordinator is better than this one. By the way, about that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
do think Jason Garrett will do well in New York. But
I do
either
too.
way, I think he will be
I
a
think that's
big
where he belongs.
reason. I think he will be a big reason why in 2 to 3 years they'll be a playoff team.
I think that's fair. All right, let's move on to the NFC West because I remember my NFC West predictions. So
Let's
I'm gonna move kind of quickly before I forget them.
Go. All right, perfect.
I know how I'm at my top two going out. It's just I want to go through the Rams, the Cardinals.
Oh,
before I
and by
forget
the
those
way, the Cowboys, yeah, they also just signed Everson Griffin, so they also have Gerald McCoy and DeMarcus Lawrence compared to Fletcher Cox
all
and
right, let's keep
Vinny
on.
Curry.
Michael,
All right, let's go. Sorry, NFC West. We have the Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Rams one because that's the one I'm making sure I don't forget. Is they have them going 5-11, and I want to make that clear. All right, 5-11 Rams. Got it. Now I'm good. Now we don't need to hurry up.
Shoot, hold on. I don't have my Rams record prediction.
Are you kidding me? After all of that,
I took a picture, but it cut off the Rams and Cardinals.
oh boy, try and remember.
Could tell you the Cardinals were in the playoffs.
Oh god, my playoffs. Oh god,
What?
I don't remember any of my playoffs. I remember like the Super Bowl and stuff, but like I don't remember how we get there. I don't remember anything about the wild card round or the divisional round, and I can't get on to anything.
So the Rams have
no.
the 13th overall pick. The Vikings have the rather the Cardinals have 21st. This is terrible. Josh, I think I know what we should
This
do. Do you
is
want
not
to
very, very, very annoying.
Do you want to just stop here? And
That is like the worst. This is the worst one. How about we stop after we go through the NFC West? But we gotta finish the NFC West.
I don't know the Rams and Cardinals though. I don't have them though. We'll do the NFC West.
So annoying to stop.
Here's our. I think no. Do you want to just go through our awards predictions now without starting a new broadcast?
I'd say we just stop here and continue. Like I don't even know.
Do you have your award predictions? You have all your award predictions?
Yes, we do. But like that's just such a weird place to stop. I think what we should do is we could stop the broadcast. I'm gonna try and figure it out. Once I figure it out, we can come right back live.
All right. We might have a no sleep till sports talk. We don't know. We'll see.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we're gonna get through this stuff tonight. It's not if, it's when. So we'll be back soon. Stay tuned on Twitter. I guess. Like that's really. Do
you want to just like end now?
Yeah. So we'll be back, guys. We'll be.
No, but do you want to just
a day? Not call it a day. We'll just come back once we figure this out.
I think it might be better.
You want to just call it now?
Do you want to call it now? We'll come back tomorrow, I guess.
But when tomorrow? Because tomorrow is the big. We don't even have our schedule worked out. This is like live on air too. Hi guys. So
we'll postpone the end of our predictions.
But wait, because
we'll tell you guys. We'll tweet it. We'll Instagram it. We'll TikTok it.
All right, we're gonna end the broadcast now, and
yeah.
We'll come back soon.
Thanks, guys, for watching our award predictions. Although I have my award predictions, I think it doesn't. I think it just makes sense. No, hold on, Josh. Hold on. Fine. Do we know our seeds? We know the seeds of the West. I know the Rams are in the 4th.
I don't remember where I have my NFC seeds, so that's what.
No, I don't care what the NFC seeds. The NFC seeds is fine. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the NFC seeds as long as it gets the division.
Yeah, it does because I need to know my playoff. I don't remember any of my playoff.
No, what we're going to do, Josh, because the awards are based off the regular season alone. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go through the AFC West, where they finish. I know. We don't need playoffs. We'll do playoffs a different day. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, because the awards is only regular season alone.
Wait, so what are you saying?
I'm saying that
You're cutting it out, too. I can barely hear you.
Oh, here's what I'm saying.
Michael, we need to cut this right now because I can barely hear you. We need to cut it.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you fine, but we're clearly at a delay. We need to cut it for now, though. Let's end the broadcast.
All right, that's fine. We'll take a break, until we can.
It's an extended commercial break without the commercials.
Update you on social media.